Hi, I'm Adam and welcome back. And today we have come to the Lake District to do a little bit of solo camping alone in the mountains. I'm excited. It's going to be an interesting night, I think. There is quite a bit of rain around at the moment. If you look at the mountains there behind me, it's also going to be a very, very cold night. Even though we're nearly in May here in the UK, tonight's going to get down to about -2 centigrade at ground level. So by the time we get right up there, it's going to feel more like -5, -6, I think. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting night, but I'm hoping we're going to get some good opportunities for some great photography, both at sunset and in the morning. So yeah, I would really love it if you were to come with me. Let's go. Now, just the small matter of the hike up to the top with around 25 kilos on my back once you take into account the water and all the camera gear. But before we get going today though, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a domain name, a website or an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. I think the thing to do when you are camping and doing photography at the same time is to get your first photograph in as soon as possible, because there is a hell of a lot to think about. You're thinking about the photography, you're thinking about getting to the top of the hill and finding a nice spot for camping, you're thinking about having to cook your food and everything that comes with camping, and the photography on top of that can be a little bit stressful, especially if you really want to get a nice image. Just get one in the can and I guarantee you'll feel more positive, you'll start to feel the creative juices flowing and it just gets you off the mark, and I think that's important. Very straightforward. I'm at f11 1/60th of a second, ISO 100. I'm bracketing just to make sure I get everything in. Have a little look at that. Yeah, that is just a great start to the day. Oh, well, it's the afternoon actually, but you know what I mean. But these conditions are really nice now. It's actually really quite strange actually, because it's so cold. I've got a little bit of a sweat on climbing up the hill there, which is making it even colder. But then when that mid-spring sun comes out, that's really warm. So it's really quite a strange experience. So it's going to be a case of layers on, layers off, layers on, layers off, I think. And then we'll see what the temperature's like tonight. So that's just the way it goes. You pack up and then suddenly the conditions change and you're faced with something much different to look at. And I've got a little bit higher. The rain is now coming in. I've had to set the camera up because the dramatic conditions over there now are just absolutely stunning. And I've got a slightly different composition. I'm a little bit higher. You can see the mountains in the distance, much more prominently in the scene. I've zoomed in just a little bit. I'm not as wide as I was before, and the conditions are changing all the time with that rain coming through that valley, picking up the rays of sunshine. Come on, like that now. Let's go with that. 2-second timer. I'm bracketing again because there's a huge dynamic range, and I love these moody Lake District shots where the weather just provides so much intrigue in the frame. It becomes more unique. It becomes more appealing to me anyway, with a dramatic edit to the photo. Lights changing all the time now. So I'm just going to keep on firing away and hopefully at some point I'll get to the top. But when the conditions are this good, you've just got to react to them, I think. Stop what you're doing, get your camera out and just start shooting. Right, I'm somewhere near the top now. Got the sun on my face, which is making it really, really nice, but I am a little bit lost. The top of this hill is like a plateau. I'm just lost in the middle of this heather and I don't really know where the path was. It's very undefined and I lost it a little while ago. And with the weight I'm carrying, walking off the beaten track is really difficult and my fitness is still coming back to me. I'm also at the same time trying to find a composition for sunset, at the same time as trying to find a good pitch for the night. Let me just hike this last little bit to the top. Should have a better idea of where we are, where we're going to sleep, and what we're going to see. Right, I've made it to the top and I've got fantastic views all the way around me. What started off as a wet and blustery, windy, wild day has just turned into the most perfect evening. There is now not a breath of wind, but I've just got a feast of photography at the moment. It's difficult to know what the right thing to do is. What I am going to do is camp up there somewhere, but I think for the last light of the day I'm going to utilise this because it just looks fantastic. And I've got this little bit of water down here. Now on the drone footage you've just seen, it was obviously really nice and sunny and I took a few images, but I was really struggling with the composition, partly because this bit just down here is really muddy, so the left hand side of this little pond looks rubbish. It looks dirty and disgusting and I don't want it in my frame. But then to get the balance with the mountains in the background, I kind of need that area of the foreground in it. I think I've now figured it out, but of course the light has gone for a minute. Just need the light to come back, which it is starting to do. It's looking fantastic over there. I might put the long lens on in a second as well, but I'm playing around and just doing the best I can in the circumstances. So I think probably by the end of this I'll be able to show you 2 or 3 images that I've captured, and you can let me know which one you like best down in the comments. So I'm going to do it now because the light has come back quite nicely. Oh, actually that does, I think, look. Oh yes, the sky looks delicious. It looks absolutely delicious. Just look at the tops of that mountain now, just fantastic. I'm going to put the long lens on, I'll show you a series of images, and then we'll go and find a spot to camp. Yes, I love photography when it's like this, and it's the fact I can stay here right until the end without having to worry about getting back down off the hill. Camping on your own and doing photography, there is nothing better. It feels good. Yes. We'll be back out there in just a second, but things got so bad in the next bit that I didn't have a chance to tell you about today's sponsors, who are the good people at Squarespace. Now, if you are a photographer, running your own website is the best possible way to share your story with the world. And with Squarespace, it's just so easy to get set up. And unlike social media, you control how your images are presented. You start by using one of their beautiful templates. Put some of your images on there and a bit of your text. And then before you know it, you'll have a unique and beautiful looking website. You don't need any coding knowledge either, and it will dynamically adjust to look perfect on all types of screen, including your phone, which today is especially important. You can start with a simple gallery, but as you grow, you can then upgrade your site to an online store where you can easily start selling things like prints, books, or calendars, or anything else that takes your fancy. It also now has a member section if you want to run a subscription service and build your following that way. And in the unlikely event that you run into trouble, they have award-winning customer service. I have used Squarespace for years and I've never looked back. So go to squarespace.com to start your free trial today, or click the link down below. And then if you like what you've created, use the offer code FIRSTMAN to get 10% off your first purchase. And I am at the very top of this hill now. Let's just do that, as you can see. But as ever, the weather is unpredictable in the mountains. think it was forecast to be clear now, but it's literally just started snowing, or at least hail or something, but it's definitely ice blowing straight into my face. Apart from that, it's fantastic, moody, dramatic conditions. I mean, look at the light behind me there. That's just fantastic. And then you spin around this way and it's kind of, it's got a kind of Lord of the Rings you shall not pass feel to it. I think what I need to do is try and find a spot to set up camp and just hope that this stops and it blows over. Brutal at the moment though. Whoa. It's like the middle of winter. I am a man who likes his seasons. In the winter, I love snow, I love being cold. I love the cold, I never really get cold, but in the spring and the summer, I want it to be warm. So, I'm having a little whinge at the moment because of that. This is not what you expect at the end of April. Oh my god. Right, let's grab the bag and get off the top here. Try and, it's so heavy. Try and find a spot before this gets too bad. You hear that wind as well. Oh, I'm not going to lie, that was absolutely brutal. And really, I'm not particularly looking forward to the sleep tonight. I was expecting clear skies, and the weather forecast still says that, but I'm in the mountains, so this is to be expected really, but it doesn't make it any more fun. Oh, I think what is going to raise my spirits is having some hot food. It's so cold as well. Staying dry is the main thing I'm worried about. Although, if it just keeps snowing, I guess I'm less likely to get wet, I don't know. I think part of the title for this video was Alone in the Mountains. And at the moment, I'm acutely aware that I am alone in the mountains. It's kind of exhilarating on the one hand, but a little bit lonely on the other hand. It is brightening up over there though, I think. Right, let's get this food on. So cold. That is possibly the best tasting bit of food I've had in a long time. And it's just a really crappy chili and rice. Such a morale booster though. Well, good morning. This is my absolute favourite moment. Waking up in the mountains on your own with just beautiful sights all around. And there is just no better place in the world to wake up than on top of a hill, on top of a mountain. It was an interesting night. I didn't get much sleep, and I've woken up to just ice all over my bag, all over the tent. But happily, I was really quite snug in my sleeping bag. So I'm going to wait for the sun to come up over the hill there, and then see what I can do. So realistically, when you're wild camping and doing photography, at some point you have to make a decision. Are you going to prioritize the moment with the camping and the cooking and the coffee and that kind of thing, or are you going to prioritize the photography? Now, I am a landscape photographer, so I've chosen the latter, and I packed up quickly because we have very, very clear blue skies. So the conditions for photography are going to disappear very quickly. It's going to become very bright and very contrasty and not very interesting. So I want to make the most of this golden hour. But now I'm photographing this scene here. I just think it's fantastic. It's kind of got an Alpine feel. We've got lovely shapes in the ground as it goes down that hill through that little valley. Trees either side, those big mountains in the distance. I just think it's going to be a great way to finish this video, and I'm going to have to finish it soon because my battery's running out. So I'm at 1/25 of a second, f11, ISO 100. Capture that. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, it's interesting. It'd be better with a few more clouds in the sky. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give the video a like, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and if you want to support the channel, you can pick up a copy of my book. Anyway, I'll see you again very, very soon. I'm Adam, this is First Man Photography. Bye.